Hello, welcome back to the Evolution with Mac and Jen podcast. It is just Jen here, no Mac today. And I'm super excited to be here today. Um, I will quit trying to say so much already, but I'm gonna read something that sparked this podcast topic today. And so today I'm gonna talk about cheating today. Um, I just said again. All right, here we go. So I'm gonna read this comment that was written in a Facebook group that I'm in, and this is what made me decide to want to get on here and talk about cheating today. All right, so it says, are women seriously out here cheating more than men, or are men just using that as an excuse as to why their previous relationship ended? I ask every single guy I start talking to why their last relationship ended, and it is almost always because their ex cheated. It's awfully suspicious, and I immediately think they are the one who cheated. Ha. Am I crazy or is this a valid thought? LOL. So, I will first off just by adding that I recognize that a lot of my perspectives and my ideas and my beliefs are different than the majority, and that a lot of my perspectives and beliefs I say are like unpopular opinions. But I also realize that I live a very different life than most people. And I think the reason is because I have different beliefs and opinions and thoughts and ideas than the majority. Majority of people are not happy, let's just be real, and majority of people aren't going after what they want in life, and majority of people aren't getting what they want. And I believe the reason that I do a lot of it is because of the beliefs that I hold and the ideas that I have, and that I don't think like most people. I say that if you want, you know who you're listening to, but if you want results like majority, like think like the majority, right? Like the way you think and the way your beliefs determine your reality, and that determines like your outcomes basically. So if you want different, you got to think different, you got to believe different, you have to keep an open mind to different ideas. And I've talked about cheating in the past, and one of my um reels or something that I posted, some people were very disagreement with me because a lot of people like to play victim. And so what I might say might trigger, you might not agree. You might think, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about, or I'm crazy or whatever, but I know what I know and I believe what I believe, and that's about it. So I'm just gonna share what I think about the topic of cheating. And this lady says here, like, why do so many women cheat? Are women out here actually cheating, or what's the deal? And I'm going to share from my experience when I was dating. I also ran into majority of guys when I asked them, why did your last relationship end, or why did your marriage end? I will say that majority of them also said their wives cheated. And I always found that to be interesting. And after so many dates, I even think I mentioned to my mother or some friends or something, I'm like, it is so crazy how majority of the men I go out with, like their last relationships ended because the woman cheated or the wives cheated. And I believe that to be true. But the question that I asked myself often was, okay, yes, maybe they did cheat, but what weren't you doing? That was my first thought, was like, what weren't you doing? Because here's where the unpopular opinion comes out. But I believe that people don't just cheat. If you're happy, if your needs are being met, if you have people in a relationship both working towards, bettering the relationship, people don't just cheat, right? And so I think that's where some of the unpopular opinion comes in. It's because Because if your spouse cheats, no, I do not condone the behavior, but I would question, what were you doing? Why did they feel the need to step outside of the relationship? Right? Because human needs psychology says that we only do anything in life to meet at least one of our six human needs. We all have six human needs that everybody needs. Doesn't matter your background, your race, your where you come from, anything. Everything we do is to meet at least one of these needs. And if your needs are not being met inside your relationship, you will find a way to meet your needs. People will go against their own values to meet their needs. Their six human needs. I'm not talking about any needs other than the six human needs. And those are the needs for certainty, uncertainty, significance, connection/love, growth, and contribution. Those are the six human needs. If your needs are not being met in your relationship, you will go have them met elsewhere. It may not be cheating, it may be through work, it may be through the kids, it may be through working out, it may be through drugs and alcohol, smoking cigarettes. We all kind of have like a way to, we're all going to get our needs met regardless. It's just how are you getting them met? And so when I talk about relationships all the time, I tell my clients, I say, if you are meeting all of your partner's six human needs on super high levels, they will be wrapped around your finger, essentially. Like they will never leave the relationship because they won't have a need to, right? They will essentially be obsessed with you. Because if three out of your six needs are getting met on a super high level with whatever you're doing, it can become an addiction. So when I'm coaching on relationships and talking about relationships, we talk a lot about the six human needs because they really do determine a lot, like they dictate human behavior. And you can, if you are meeting your partners, all of their human needs on high levels, they won't step out of the relationship. Granted, there may be like a few exceptions, like some people, I dated one guy who thought that dating multiple women at the same time was just like normal, like it was just what he did. And so, but if you are committed to somebody and you are in a marriage or in a relationship with somebody where you guys are committed to each other and everything is going great and things are wonderful, typically there's a moment when things start to shift. And when the things start to shift, we stop being we stop meeting each other's needs, and then we separate and we go get our needs met elsewhere. And like I said, we can get them met through um work, the children, um working out, going out with friends, different hobbies. Like we go get our needs met elsewhere. Typically when that happens, when the shift starts to happen and we stop, it's not that we consciously stop meeting each other's needs because most of us don't know what we're doing. When you first start dating somebody, especially in the beginning, you're meeting each other's needs without knowing you're meeting each other's needs, and that's why everything is so great. You're giving each other a lot of certainty. You're then that's the first one, certainty. Like you're giving each other certainty. You know that that's your person. They know they're your person. Like, and you guys are excited and happy, and it's like the honeymoon stage, and there's just a lot of certainty. Like you're not really worried about them leaving because you guys are like so into each other, right? That's certainty. You feel safe. In the beginning of the relationship, there's a lot of uncertainty. Also, you're having fun and a lot of variety. You guys are going out on dates. You're leaving little surprises for each other. There's a lot of uncertainty. That's number two. Number three is significant. In the beginning of a relationship, everybody feels you feel significant. They feel significant. You guys make each other feel special and unique. They're the only one, right? The fourth one, love and connection. You guys are connecting. All of these are happening on super high levels, which is why you guys are like obsessed with each other, especially in the beginning. You guys, and then the two last needs are your spiritual needs. It's for growth. You guys are we're growing together, and it's for contribution. You need to feel like you're contributing, right? And so typically in the beginning of a relationship, all of these needs are being met on high levels, which is why you guys are obsessed with each other, right? Um, and the key to sustaining that is being conscious of continuing to meet each other's needs on super high levels. And what happens is you're in the relationship, you start going, and next thing you know, like us women, we start criticizing them, we start trying to control them. I've talked about this in the past, like, and things start happening, and there's a shift that happens, and a kind of like a withdrawal or like a separation, and you guys are becoming less and less obsessed with each other. And it's because now he's going and having his needs met over here, and you're getting your needs met over here, and you're not really being conscious about coming together and meeting them for each other. And so one of the keys to keeping the relationship alive and full of passion is making sure and being conscious that you are not only meeting your needs for yourself in healthy ways, but that you're meeting your partner's needs in super healthy ways. And I do this by, like, I do like almost like a weekly check-in with myself just to make sure that I am meeting all of Mac's needs on super high levels. So like I'm like, okay, am I giving him a lot of certainty? Am I giving him a lot of variety? Like, am I keeping everything fun and exciting on a scale of 1 to 10? Am I making him feel significant? Like, am I doing a good job at that? And are we connecting? And I rate myself on scales of 1 to 10. And if, say, 1 week a number is a little low, I make sure to crank it up a little bit because I don't want a relationship that feels like twos and threes. I want all tens. And I'll tell you, if you're meeting your partner's needs on level tens, they will meet yours without even like knowing. It's just the energy you give is the energy you get, right? And so sometimes it's just shifting and consciously making sure that you're meeting your partner's needs and lighting them up. Because Tony Robbins says we go to relationships to give, not to get. And I every some people I might talk to may say, well, he's not doing this and he's not doing that. But it's not about what the other person is doing. Like, you can't control them, but you can control how you show up. And I can control how I show up. And I do my best to make sure that my partner's needs are being met on super high levels because I want my needs met on super high levels and because I want my partner to be obsessed with me. And so, oftentimes, though, we are not conscious of this or what's going on. Like, we know things don't feel good, but we don't know how to correct it. And sometimes, like, you can tell if you're fighting in a relationship, oftentimes you're fighting for certainty. You're fighting for growth. You're fighting for connection. You're fighting for more variety, right? Like, but if you are checking in and saying, how am I showing up? How am I meeting my partner's needs? And making it being conscious of creating an amazing relationship, your relationship will be amazing. And so when you talk about cheating, I don't think if you are showing up and being your best self inside your relationship and consciously creating what you want, I don't think that people just cheat for no reason. People cheat to have their needs met. So if I'm not doing my part to make sure that I'm giving Max certainty and I'm making him feel special and we're having fun and we're growing together and feel like he's contributing, and if if that's not happening, he's going to find a way to go have those needs met. And most of the time it starts with either like men will go get their needs fulfilled in work, because in work they know they can win. They know they can win with work. They don't know they can win with you. Women, typically we go have our needs met with the kids. We put all of our energy into the kids and we stop putting our energy into our partners. And we can do that for so long. Let's just say, so all of a sudden now, like there we things start to disconnect and the polarity starts to get off balance, and the us women, we step into our masculine role. The men don't know how to win with us. All of a sudden he's putting all his energy into work, you're putting all your energy into the kids, and on the outside everything looks great, but on the inside everybody's dying. Because if you're not happy in your relationship, let's be real, like you're not happy. And so we'll go into this, pattern for sometimes for years. And us women, we are not always the best at sharing what we need or speaking to our men, our feelings in a way that men can hear it, which is why oftentimes it feels like when we try to share, they get super defensive and push back, right? And so oftentimes we as women feel like we've been telling them for years how unhappy we are. And let me tell you, ladies, if you're unhappy, he's unhappy too. But oftentimes, I believe that our delivery isn't heard and it's not received. And so we can do better at sharing, recognizing what we're needing, what's missing, and how to ask for it without asking for it in a way that feels like we're blaming them, right? If you're not happy in your inside your relationship, it might be because your needs are not being met. You don't feel certainty. You're not having any fun. Weekly date nights have gone out the door, right? You don't feel significant to your partner. You guys aren't connecting. You're not growing, and you're not giving to each other. And oftentimes if you're unhappy, it's because of those reasons. Like those needs are not being met. So, but we don't know how to share that because we don't really know, because we just know that something feels like it's missing and we're not really sure what. And I'll tell you, if you dig into it, it's probably those 6 reasons, those 6 things that are missing. Um, you're not feeling seen, you're not feeling heard, you don't feel significant, you don't have certainty. It's those are the reasons why you're unhappy. But we don't know how to express that to them. So we'll spend 5 years being angry at them and resentful because our needs are not being met and they're not doing anything to step, quote unquote, step up. And it's because they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. So the only thing they know to do is, where can I put my energy where I feel like I'm winning? Work, the gym, out with friends, right? And so we'll say, I've been telling him for years, I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy, I'm unhappy. I want more, I need more, I need more. But they don't know what that means. You don't know how to express what you need. And so it just continues on for years and nothing changes. Nothing changes. And here you are unhappy. Your needs aren't being met. You value yourself as a trustworthy, honest person who doesn't cheat, right? But after 5, 6, 7 years of nothing, of unhappiness, of trying to argue and yell your feelings and get angry at them for not meeting your needs when you don't really understand that it's those needs that aren't being met and how to express them and any of that, After so long, somebody comes in and gives you a little attention, gives you a little certainty, gives you a little variety, makes you feel significant. You're connecting with them, and it feels good. It feels really good. Your husband hasn't been doing it for years, and you've been telling him for years something you want him to step up, something is missing, right? Somebody comes in and gives you a little attention, and now all of a sudden your needs are being met over here, and it feels really good. Your needs are not getting met inside your relationship. You've been telling your husband for years, and you know what? Nothing has changed. So I think a lot of us women unconsciously, because things aren't changing, we will take an action that will blow things up simply because we are fucking tired of begging for things to change and nothing changing. And we just want to be happy. Our needs are gonna go are getting met right here. We feel special, we feel significant, and unconsciously, I think a lot of us think we're just gonna blow this shit up because we've been telling our partner for 5, 6 years how unhappy we are. Nothing's changing. I'm fucking tired of this. And I think that's why a lot of women, us women, will cheat and end the relationship. So when you go on dates with these men and these men are like, well, my wife cheated, so that's why it ended. I beg to differ. Your relationship didn't end because she cheated. That may have been the final straw, but your relationship ended years before that happened when you stopped meeting her needs. And she was, none of us are perfect because us women, we can be, like I said, be better at expressing what we need. But I think oftentimes we don't know how to express it. And so it comes out looking like anger, and we're just mad and we're resentful, and they don't know what to do. And so it's like nobody's right or nobody's wrong. It's just after so many years of not knowing how to light each other up, to fill each other up, how to create, like, how to consciously make each other happy. Like, women will typically blow it up because we're just tired of it. And I think sometimes the men will blow it up too, and they'll cheat. And you can say, well, the relationship ended because my partner cheated. Your partner did not, the relationship did not end because your partner cheated. The relationship ended because you guys stopped meeting each other's needs. It ended many years ago. The cheating may have been the final straw, but it's not the reason why things ended. So so when you're creating like a conscious, relationship, you just want to make sure that you are, meeting each other's needs. So I don't think people don't just cheat. Um, they cheat because their needs are not being met. It does not make you a bad person. It does not make anybody like a bad person. It just makes you human. Like, we will go against our values, like I said, to meet our needs. And if you want an amazing relationship that never ends, make sure that you're conscious about meeting your partner's needs. I said to, let's see, I said to my mother one time, okay, well, okay, well, we'll just use her as an example. I love you, Mom. But, um, you know, I'm not going to share everything here, but like most of us, we're having problems in our relationships, right? And I ask her, we go through the list. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much certainty do you think he feels inside of this with you? And typically at the end, these are low numbers, because if they're high numbers, everything's going to feel amazing. But if they're low numbers, it's going to be low energy relationship. You're not going to be happy. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much certainty does he feel with you? Probably like a 3. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much fun and variety are you guys having? Like healthy fun and variety. Maybe like a 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how significant does he feel right now with you? Maybe like a 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much are you guys connecting? Oh, maybe like a 2. You know, I don't need to go into the growth and contribution because if those first 4 are low, like it's going to be not good. So I'm like, well, no wonder you guys are not happy. Like, no wonder. Now she has a dog. And I said to her, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much certainty does the dog have with you? A 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, how much variety and uncertainty how much fun are you having with the dog? Are you guys going on walks and you're bringing home the dog treats and you're rubbing his belly and making it more exciting? Oh, like a 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, how significant does the dog feel when he's with you? A 10. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much love and connection does the dog feel? A 10. Okay, well, no fucking wonder the dog wags his tail every time you walk through the door, right? How would you feel if your man wagged his tail every time you walked through the door, right? If you are conscious about doing your part to create an amazing relationship, you want to be conscious about meeting your partner's needs on super high levels. And if you're doing that, they will wag their tail every time you walk through the door, and they will never want to leave you. This goes both ways. So I think sometimes I trigger people because I'm like, telling us, I'll say to us women, like, we need to do this. And they're like, well, my man doesn't do this and my man doesn't do that. And well, he doesn't do a lot of that stuff because, he's withdrawn and he doesn't know what to do. He hasn't had any coaching or help with this. But most of us, like, we we get into relationships, like nobody has coaching and help with this. Like they should teach relationships in school, but they don't. And so we all get into relationships and we don't know what to do. We're kind of winging it. Our models of relationships are not good. You know, how many relationships do you see in your personal life that you want? Like examples of good relationships. And what are these people doing that's different, right? I know in my own personal life, I have, because I look for it though, I would say a good 2 handfuls full of relationships that I look to that I want to model and be like. Because I can tell that, even after 10, 20 years together, they're still obsessed with each other. That's what I want. And so if you want different, you got to do different, you have to think different, you have to behave different, and you also have to believe that it's possible. And if people like myself and, these other examples aren't showing up and showing that it's possible, we wouldn't know that it's possible, but it is possible. And so, just going back to this, are women seriously out here cheating more than men? I think we might be. Also, too, because men are more logic and us women run more off emotions. And logically, for a man, it doesn't make sense to cheat because if he were to cheat, like, and be the one to end things, I feel like sometimes, even though they don't necessarily have more to lose, they have a lot to lose. Like he might think, if I blow this up, there goes half my money. If I blow this up, I'm going to lose the kids, right? And so I think they will stick with it longer and just sit in the misery and put their energy elsewhere, porn, um, work, whatever. Where us women, like run more off emotion. And so I personally think we are probably more likely the ones to blow it up at the end. But Is that the reason why the relationship ended? It was the last straw because I feel like once you cheat, it's like, okay, now it's this really over? But I think it was probably over long before you cheated, and you just didn't, nobody knew what to do. And after so long of being unhappy and feeling alone and not having your needs met by your partner, like you'll blow it up because that is not a happy, fulfilling life. Like we are meant to be in relationships and happy and alive and well. And um, I believe it doesn't just happen. I think that beautiful, amazing relationships come when you have two people who are not only ready, but also willing to actually put in the work. And the work is, consciously, giving to your partner. Um, and being conscious about, lighting them up, and being conscious and intentional about keeping everything alive, right? Um, she says, I ask every single guy I start talking to why their last relationship ended, and is almost because their ex cheated. She's awfully suspicious and thinks they're the one who cheated. Am I crazy, or is this a valid thought? I don't think you're crazy. I think it is a valid thought, but I think they're probably telling the truth. She probably did cheat. And but the truth is that the relationship ended way before she cheated. So my question would be, what weren't you doing? Like, and what are you going to do to prevent that from happening next time? Right? I am going to do my darndest to, I can't control Mac. I can only control how I show up and how I choose to, be inside this relationship. But I choose to do my very best at being super intentional about lighting him up, making sure that all of his needs are met. I even consciously look at the love languages. Like I want to make sure that he feels certainty with me, we're having fun, that he feels super significant. Like he is literally my hero. I want him to feel like my hero all the time. I want to make sure we're connecting. I want to make sure we're growing together. And I want to make sure that not only am I contributing to him, but he's able to fill his need to contribute to me as well. And that we're contributing back and forth and everything is great. And if you are do the mental checklist, and if you, um, you know, the checklist is, does my partner feel certainty from me on a scale of 1 to 10? How much certainty does he feel on a scale of 1 to 10? And you're kind of doing the ratings as if you were them answering. And if they're all 10s, you're good. If they are low numbers, you need to step it up. And if you start stepping it up, they will feel it and they will probably start matching you. But sometimes it just takes one of us doing it. When you're dating, I like to observe, how are they showing up? Because you can tell how into you somebody is by how you feel as far as like your needs being met. So if you're dating somebody, ask yourself, how much certainty do I feel with this person? How much uncertainty and fun am I having with this person? How significant do I feel? And if the numbers are low, that's why you feel unfulfilled and you are fighting with them to try to meet your needs. They might not be that into you if the numbers are low. And if that's the case, you may have to make a hard decision and say, maybe I need to let this person go. Why? Because they are not capable of meeting my needs or showing up for me in the way that I want them to, in the way that I would want my ideal person to show up. If you are with somebody and they are meeting all your needs on super high levels, I would suggest that you continue on with that person. The only reason, not the only reason, but I married Mac because from the very beginning, he was always meeting my needs on super high levels. And so I just stuck with him. Even in the very beginning, we did not kiss for the first 4 months we were dating. In the beginning, when we were dating, he was dating other women too. And you would think that I wouldn't feel a lot of certainty if he's dating other women, we're not kissing or anything like that. But the truth is like I was just so certain in the way that I was showing up, and the way that he was showing up with me made me feel a lot of certainty. And that's why I kept going with him. Not only did I feel certainty with him, but we were having a lot of fun together. I felt really significant. He was sending me good morning text messages and taking me out and making me feel special. We were connecting and and all, everything was a high level tens. We were even growing together. We started doing like personal development programs together right away. And he was contributing to me and I was contributing to him, and like my I felt like every time I was with him, like my conscious awareness was just growing and getting bigger and bigger. And one of my biggest, like, I used to be certainty driven when I was drinking all the time, but when I quit drinking, my highest need is my need to grow. And with Mac, it was just a lot of growth, and it still is. And so that's why I continued on with him. And eventually, he proposed to me within 14 months of us meeting, when in the beginning he actually told me he wasn't necessarily looking for anything serious, which is crazy that I was still feeling high certainty from him when he wasn't even committed, or he did not even have marriage on his radar. I'll tell you, one of the reasons I believe he married me and reached out or proposed within 14 months is because I was meeting all his needs on super high levels always, and he was meeting my needs on super high levels without even knowing he was. Like, I didn't even say anything to him. I would just, can't think about it. This is why I feel so good. I feel so good because I feel a lot of certainty. I feel we're having so much fun. Again, I feel super significant, and we're connecting, we're growing, and we're giving to each other. And this is why I feel so good. Why would I let this go? And he's meeting my needs. I'm, doing my best to make sure I'm giving him certainty and making him feel special, and doing, we're having fun, and I'm being cute and doing all the things. And of course he wanted to marry me. Like, of course. And I believe that we will continue on this path if we stay conscious in making sure that we not only are meeting each other's needs on super high levels, but also, making sure that we do our best. Like, I'm committed to staying open and vulnerable, not closing off my heart, sharing how I feel. He's committed to holding space for me and loving me, and I'm committed to, respecting him and trusting him and trusting in his ability to lead me. Like, I know the moment if I start criticizing him, he, he will start to withdraw. Like, it's just not going to happen. And so we get to do these, learn these tools and learn these skills to create the kind of relationships that we dream about. And if you wonder, why do most relationships fail, or why do most people seem so unhappy inside of relationships? It's because nobody is learning this stuff. And so that's why I love, teaching it, and I love sharing it, but I also love to remind people, like, if you want different, you can have different. You just create it. And these are the skills, and the skills of love, the tools, the things. And I just love this so much. So I'm going to end this pretty shortly, but I will say again, yes, there are pieces of shit out there. But at the same time, people don't just cheat, right? And so, do I condone the behavior? No. But do I understand it? Yes. And am I going to do my best to prevent it in my own relationships? Yes. So I love you guys. I'm going to sign off. If you have any questions about this, you are welcome to reach out to me. You can find me on Facebook is the best place where I hang out the most. My name on Facebook is Jenn Lockhart Grant. And inside our membership is where you get, one-on-one support and group support, and you could be part of our inner circle, our community. It's only $97 a month. It's amazing. You can probably find the link for that somewhere on this podcast or hop over to my Facebook. I post it quite often. We're building an amazing community full of people who just want more in life and want to create, amazing lives, amazing. They want freedom, greater relationships, more money, all of it. Like we want it all and we get to have it all. We just have to like consciously create it. And so I love you guys, and I will talk to you again later. Bye.